Morning Joe and the Pro. Two pros today. The bald man in his Cam Newton shirt, Carmine Bianco, on a 7-0 NHL run. And some weirdo in a Cowboy hat, Marco D'Angelo. Do you have the buckle going? Are your jeans so tight that they're splitting your balls?
Well, my jeans are always tight. You've seen the size of my butt, so we won't go there. It's rodeo week, Prez. You're a big poker player. Why aren't you down here? This is the best 11 days to play cash games in Vegas. This is the best time, and I want to blend in and look like a tourist when I'm playing, so here we go.
Oh, look at that. You definitely look like a tourist.
You know, they told me this morning I would be talking to a couple of wise guys. I didn't know when this Skype thing started it was going to be like Joe Piscopo and Danny DeVito.
I'll take Joe Piscopo.
Go to Vegas and open. You guys can open up the first Italian Jewish delicatessen. I think that would be great.
What would the name be?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it'd have to be like
John do the marketing for us.
It'd have to rhyme because all Italian names rhyme. So it'd have to be like Shlomo Capitono, something like that. Anyway,
hey guys, can I interest you guys in a cannoli or?
Oh, you dirty bastard, you! I got my coffee, but no cannolis here.
I don't even like cannolis, and I have a major sweet tooth.
These things are awesome, man. They're unbelievable.
How can you not like cannolis?
I got them fresh this morning.
There's very few things Italian I like. Carm is one of them.
And my lasagna.
Looks like you just did a line of Coke. Look at him there.
Yeah.
This is great.
Okay, boys, let's get on with the show. It's Morning Joe and the Pro. I'm the Prez. We're sponsored and seen and viewed at WagerTalk.com, WagerTalk TV at our YouTube channel. We're going to give out some promos, and we're going to talk NFL football, maybe free pick in basketball or hockey tonight as well. I gave out Calgary yesterday on the show, easy winner. Let's start with Dwayne Bryant. Dwayne is he's won his last 6 straight college basketball plays. He's 11-3 on the college basketball season. He has a huge play up at WagerTalk.com tonight. It's the must-play featured play at WagerTalk.com for Friday night. It's a 5-star total. Make sure to head over to WagerTalk.com. That's the play for tonight. Unless, of course, Carmine has an NHL play. That'll sit alongside that. Carmine, 7-0 run in NHL. Talk to us about it.
It's been a good NHL run. I looked over tonight's card. I considered San Jose. You could have got San Jose, I think, this morning at about $1.10, laying $1.10. I think it's up to like about 123, 124 as a recording at on Pinnacle's site. But I'm passing on tonight's card. I think it's a pretty tight card. Everything from that Minnesota Edmonton game is going to be a good game. I think it'll be a low scoring game. Edmonton, since Hitchcock coming in, they've cut down their goals against average. They're playing I think a better game. I liked Edmonton the other night, but still couldn't pull the trigger just because you have McDavid, who was out on Monday, missed the Dallas game where they lost 4-1. He was sick. He was back for the St. Louis game, but I just wasn't convinced that when these guys are sick, it takes a lot out of them to come back in a couple days. Sometimes the legs aren't there. I saw a 2-0 scoreline. I thought, okay, it was great that I stayed off of Edmonton, and then I woke up to a 3-2 final for the Oilers. But no, we're going good. There's some games I like on Saturday, just literally waiting for the lines to come out on those NHL games. But we'll see if we can keep this streak going.
He's Carmine. I'm the Prez. You can get a full month of all of Carmine's plays at WagerTalk.com for only $99. That is as cheap as it gets, and it's the perfect month to buy it. Carm's had a ridiculous NFL season as well. 31-17, give or take.
Yeah, I lost a couple on the weekend, but we won on Thursday night. Now 7-1 with my Thursday night games. I'm loving Thursday nights. I don't play a lot of Monday night games, but I think we're about 32-19. I think it is
32-19 in NFL, rolling in hockey, killing it in soccer, up in college football. $99. Use the coupon code CARM99. Cowboy D'Angelo. You would think you would have like a nice cowboy hat. That looks like one of those velour, like soft cowboy hats.
Well, it is one of those. You are very perceptive there, but it gets the job done. I bring it out once a year for 10 days, so, give me a break.
When I was down in Vegas for Rodeo Day, for Rodeo Week a few years ago, and in all seriousness, it wasn't so much the cowboy hats and the plaid shirts, which I see you're wearing. It wasn't even so much the big buckle that sat to compensate for the extremely small penises that these cowboys have.
Hey now.
It was how they wore their jeans. Dude, they would wear, like, if they were a size 30 waist, they would buy a 26. And they would pull it all the way up so that you could tell if their ball sack was on the right of the seam, the left of the seam, or for some guys, I think the people out of Arkansas, right in the middle, so each ball nestled on different sides of the seam. And
you're looking at a guy's ball sacks, okay? I mean, that's what I'm getting out of this. Carm, help me out here. Is this
I find this a little troubling. I'm not really sure if this is like for him to segue into something or not, but I'm just trying not to ignore the conversation right now and figuring out if that's like an elf in your background there, Marco. I'm not really sure what that thing is.
Yeah, that's the Grinch. That's Grinch. Prez. That's our little Prez. We got the Grinch.
Okay, so fine. We will move on from the ball sack talk.
True story for me with the cowboy outfit. I moved to Vegas, how many years ago, and when you look like a local, you don't get, let's say professional working women don't approach you when you're a local as much as they can target the tourist. And a few years ago, I was down at the Golden Nugget in this outfit, playing cards. Great night. It's like 3:30, 4 in the morning down on Fremont Street. I'm finally heading out, and because I was out all night, it was a Saturday night, I decided to go across the street. There was a donut shop downtown, and I said, well, I'll bring donuts home for Lori and Katie. I was out all night. And true story, I'm walking back through the hotel with this big box of donuts, and a lady of the evening walks up to me, sees me as a tourist in my outfit, and says, hey, cowboy, you want a party? And I looked her in the eye, and I looked down at my box of donuts, and I said, honey, I got my party right here with my dozen of donuts.
Oh, dear God.
Totally reasonable. Carm, get into the center of the screen.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, much better. And I see...
Yeah, but now we're getting more of a glare.
You know what, Marco? Take your hat off for a second.
No.
Carm's hair is a hell of a lot better than yours, brother. This guy's got a gorgeous noggin, man.
He does. That is a head to be shaven.
Right.
Hey, guys, I'm a couple hours away from having to leave because it's the Italian Derby today. It's like
couple of hours, so we should get into it? Okay.
Yeah. I've got other things to do. I've got this plate of cannoli I've got to finish, and then I've got to get ready. It's the Italian Derby, Inter and Juventus today, buddy. It's one of the biggest matches in all of Italy every year.
Okay, I don't care, and nor does Marco.
All right.
Carm, let's talk about the NFL football card this week. I'll go back and forth between the two of you. Carm, let's start with the Cincinnati Chargers game. Chargers have looked so good for so many weeks now. I mean, Phillip Rivers is having his best year. They're minus 14 against a banged-up Cincinnati team, but that is a large number, and the over and under is 47.5. Where do you lean on this game?
It's first of all, I was actually looking through my notes. Do you have any idea who did the Chargers beat last week?
Yeah.
Any idea?
Mike Tomlin doesn't know how to make adjustments in game. Let's just keep covering Keenan Allen with a linebacker and watch him beat us to death. Unbelievable.
You think that's why the Chargers won? Not because the refs gave them a free 7-point touchdown on a full start? Not because that linebacker or defensive back intercepted the ball and then got hit by his own player and the ball popped up over his head and landed in the basket of Keenan for touchdown 2? How about touchdown 3, a kick return that very rarely happens in football? That's why they lost. With that said,
well, you guys are really sour.
I am still sour. I am still damn well sour.
Wow. All right. Well, here's a few stats I'm going to throw. But listen, the Chargers are 6-2 their last 8 against the spread. On the sort of the reverse of that, the Bengals are 1-6 their last 7 against the spread. Now, I know that the spread is 14 points. The last couple times that the Chargers have been double-digit favorites, they've gone 2-0 and they covered the spread both times. I'm actually looking at the total here. I think when the number first came out, it was much higher. I think it came out at like 50 or 50 and a half. They've driven it down to it's 48 right now at Pinnacle, and I took the under. I just think, like the Bengals played some pretty good defense last week against Denver. That game was scoreless till late in the second quarter, and then Denver came out. It was 7-3 at halftime. Denver came out, quick touchdown to start the third, and it was pretty much done. I think, I understand the Chargers. They've got a great offense, but I think you're going to see the Bengals try and establish the run, a shorter passing game for Driscoll. He can run for first downs as well too. And Lawrence, because you hate it when you're on an over and you watch a team take 5-6 minutes, off the clock, get to midfield, and then punt. And then it's sort of rinse and repeat. And you go 15 minutes, get a field goal. When you're on the under, it's great. When you're on the over, not so great. And I've taken a few Charger unders this year and won on them, especially against the Raiders.
Yeah,
they keep putting those at 50, but I like the under here.
I've been riding the under on San Diego all year, as have you. I like that play too. Marco, you want me to throw a game out at you, or is there anything of interest?
I'll throw one out. I just want to add to Carm's selection there that leads to the under as well. Note who the Chargers have up next. This is a sandwich game for them. They're coming off that Pittsburgh game, and they got the big game with Kansas City next week. They just want to get in and get out with this game. Don't get anybody hurt. Try to get into that Kansas City showdown with them next week. So under, I agree with. And the Chargers, guys, this is the best team. You go back to last season, they're now 19-5 straight up. Their last 24 games. They finished last year on a 10-2 run, and they're 9-3 this year. This team's getting it done. They're flying under the radar to a lot of people. But, Prez, we got a couple big games this week, and one of them is the Rams in Chicago. This is an interesting game. You talk about different styles. I mean, you've got the Rams that want to go up and down the field with their explosive offense. In Chicago, they want to get you into a dogfight. They want to, come with that defense, put pressure on the quarterback. They get Trubisky back this week. They're not the same team without him. We've seen the offense struggle the last 2 weeks, and it gets flexed into the Sunday night game. Another break for Chicago because it's going to be colder at night in Chicago. The Rams playing their second straight road game. Last week they played in a dome, so weather no factor for the Rams. But this week they're going to be outdoors in Chicago in December. You give me the better defense, getting points at home. That's where I got to line up. I'm looking at the Bears in this one.
Okay. Marco's on the Bears. We now have an echo.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where that came from.
I don't know. And it's gone. And Carm likes the under in the Cincinnati-San Diego game. You know, I'm playing on the Bears game, Marco. I actually have a 5-pack up at WagerTalk.com. You guys can get all 5 of my plays with the coupon code Prez15. You get all 5 of my NFL plays for $15. And that game is included in there. And Marco, promo for you. I know there's so many today. Just like Carm, $99 for 1 month of all of Carm's plays. Carm 99. 1 month of all of Marco's plays for $99 as well, which is like ridiculously cheap. Marco 99. I would have had Cowboy 99 or Ball Splitter 99, but it's Marco 99 over at WagerTalk.com. Guys, I'm going to throw a game out at you that is of interest to everybody, and that is the Dallas-Philadelphia game. Philly is plus 3.5 going into Dallas, and we saw Dallas play an incredible defensive game against New Orleans last week. With that said, they really were unable to put up a lot of points against New Orleans, and Philly now is feeling good. They win this game, that they can make the playoffs and turn their season around. The hook is important in this game. I'll go to you first, Marco. What are your thoughts on Dallas minus 3.5?
I'll be honest with you, because this is a big game. All the radio shows and podcasts that we've done, we've talked about this game. I think this is one of the toughest games on the card, guys, because you look at the Cowboys right now, and ever since they added Amari Cooper has been the difference to this team. 4 straight wins for the Cowboys, but what Amari Cooper does is he makes this team better in every different facet of the game. The running game's better now because he's taking the defenders downfield. When Elliott breaks the first line of containment, now instead of a 5-yard gain, you're getting chunk plays of 10, 12, 15 yards. It makes Dak a better quarterback because now he has the confidence in a big play receiver. It makes the other receivers better because he's drawn the double teams. Before, there was nobody that was a threat on this team. And then what's most people forget is it's making the defense better too, because now the Cowboys are having sustained drives. Before, there were too many short drives because Dak couldn't get the offense going, and the defense was right back out on the field. Now they're winning time of possession again, so it's made them just a complete team right now. But I look at Philadelphia, as bad as the season has been, guys, they put themselves in a position this Sunday that if they win this game, they control their own destiny to the playoffs. Everything that the Cowboys have done means nothing if they lose this game. So all of the pressure's on the Cowboys. And unfortunately, in the past, until he does it and wins a big game, Jason Garrett just fails in this position over and over and over again. You talk about a coaching mismatch, it's here in this one. If you put the gun to my head, no pun intended, it's, we got Cowboys and stuff in town this week, I would have to lean to Philadelphia plus the points.
How about a lasso around your neck?
I listen. I agree with a lot of Marco said, except for his final analysis. I actually like the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys right now they're coming into their own. They're just getting better as a team. Yes, I can't stand their coach. He's made so many errors, but the team is making them look good right now, and they're stretching out. With some threats at the wide receiver spots, they're stretching the defense out a bit, which is allowing Elliott he's just piling on yards. He's had big games against Philadelphia in the past that I think they're just going to continue to feed him the ball. That offensive line is doing great. And even if they do come up and try and stop the run, Dak is just playing well right now. He's finding his receivers. It's one of those things where I don't think a loss here is a blip in their schedule, but they're just getting better as they go. And we have to watch for them. I had them last week against New Orleans, and I thought to myself, when I took that play, I thought, the Cowboys are going to come out. And in order to beat a team like New Orleans, you got to punch them in the mouth right off the bat. And they came out, they put 13 on the board, took that lead, and they took it to New Orleans. Too many times we see teams come out with some kind of a game plan to try and slow a team down. No, beat a team. They punched him in the teeth and won that game and deserved to win it.
He's Carmine.
One thing to throw back to Carm. He's a horse guy. You know the phrase in horse racing, when a horse has a huge race, what do you fear in the next race? That he bounces.
Yes, of course.
That's what I fear with the Cowboys, because there's no question they're coming off their best game of the year. And it's a division game, I get that. But that was such a perfect game. And I was with you. I was on the Cowboys in that game on Thursday night as well. Again, the better defensive team getting points. That's where I like to go.
I have a major opinion on that game, but you'll have to go over to WagerTalk.com and use promo code Prez15 because it's part of my 5-pack. Yeah, I know. You're just looking at me like, who is this guy?
Yeah, did you notice every game that we're talking about today, he's got a major play in his package? Go to his package. I'll tell you what.
There's one game this week. We haven't talked about this game, and I'm not really even sure if this is one of your 5 games, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. But you've got that Green Bay helmet right behind you. I've got Julio Jones up here. And it's just, I see the Cowboys one. I just can't believe this late in the season we're seeing 2 teams 4-8 and like 4-7-1. It's just 2 proud organizations playing a meaningless game, which, with the firing of Green Bay's coach, I actually think, this total actually in the first 12 hours, this total went from 48 to 50.5. It shot up 2.5 points. The spread went from 4 to 6 as of recording, but there's no snow anticipated, no precipitation in the forecast. I think we see a high scoring game with 2 horrible defenses.
I can't disagree about the horrible defenses, but I'll tell you what, Aaron Rodgers better have a big game this week. Let's face it. Let's not sugarcoat it. He got McCarthy fired, pure and simple. Somebody had to go, and it wasn't going to be Aaron Rodgers. Now he's gone. This team last week, if you watch their performance, the most pathetic performance I've seen out of the Green Bay Packers, I think you're going to see a very spirited effort out of them this week. The Atlanta Falcons, their season's been over for a few weeks. They were a total no-show last week against Baltimore. Granted, it was against the best defense in the league, and they're not going to be facing that this week. I agree with the over. I think this is a statement game. Aaron Rodgers better have a big game this week.
Another stat before the Prez jumps in here, and before I take a bite of my next cannoli, is that teams that were double-digit favorites the week before and lost are 37-23 against the spread, 62% the next week. So if you want a number thrown at you.
Just stick the damn thing in your mouth. That sounded so wrong.
It did.
Okay, so that's the NFL, guys. Real quick, Marco, are you releasing the play on the Army game tomorrow?
No, I'm probably not going to be involved in the Army game. Fun game to watch, and for the first time in a long time, we got Army as a significant favorite. Navy had dominated this series for quite a while, but now Army's got a chance to win 3 in a row. If you watch their offense and their running game, it is just tremendous. Obviously, Navy's got a great running game as well, and both of these teams know how to stop the option. For total players, this thing, the last time that this game went over, I had hair. Okay, that's how long it's been.
Wasn't it like 17-13 or 16-13 or something in the last few years, like those type of scores?
Yeah, it's all low-scoring games because, like I said, most teams have trouble defending the option because they only see it once a year maybe, and it's tough to defend. But whenever you're practicing every day against one of the best options in the league, your defense is going to be better at defending it. And that's what Army runs. That's what their defense sees every day facing their offense. And same with Navy. And that's why we've had all of these unders in this game. And it is a huge rivalry. It doesn't matter what the records are. These two teams, they come to play. It's fun to watch them play.
Carm,
I got one game tomorrow. It's the MLS Cup final. It's actually pretty sad for me. The last 2 years, I've been able to watch my team in our home stadium in the championship game. I took Lawrence one game. And let me tell you, this was 2 years ago when we lost in the finals against Seattle. They didn't have a shot on goal the whole game. In extra time, it went to penalty kicks and we lose. It kind of made me feel like the Italians. We never win at penalty kicks. But the whole stadium stood for the 90 minutes, the 30 minutes of extra time. But 5 minutes into the game, I got the Prez beside me. No one has sat down yet. Everyone's standing for the whole game. Prez looks around and goes, "Are you guys honestly going to fucking stand the whole game?"
Look at him. Look how old he looks.
And they looked at him.
Look at that face. Dude, you got to do some work there, buddy.
But we did.
Vegas about killed you a couple weeks ago.
We did win the championship.
It did.
We did win the championship this past year. It's Atlanta and Portland in the final this year. It'll be at Mercedes-Benz Arena in Atlanta. They're going to have 70,000 plus fans at that game. Predominantly Atlanta fans. Portland gets sort of their ticket allocation, but it's going to be a home raucous crowd Saturday night. I've got a 5% play on that, and I win like 9-2-1 this year in the playoffs. So I'm hoping to cap it off with a win in the final.
So all your 5% plays, all your NFL, your soccer, throw in a cannoli, $99 at WagerTalk.com for the next month, Carm99. Marco, your 1 month of all plays, $99 in the busiest month of the entire year. I know I'm going to get a text from you saying, "What the hell, Prez? Why are you giving my stuff away for free?"
I already have the text ready. I just have to hit send when we get off the air.
Yeah, no doubt. Marco 99, and you can get my 5-pack of NFL plays on Sunday, which does include the Philadelphia-Dallas game.
Is there no Prez 99?
No. I don't.
You see how that works?
I don't give my stuff away for free, Marco.
You see how that works?
No. Oh, I see you're getting something from Marco already. Yeah, no, I don't give my stuff away for free.
Yeah, it's going to end in you. The text message. You can fill in the first part.
Prez, $15 for my 5-pack on Sunday. And don't forget to head over to WagerTalk.com. Marco's got an NBA play up tonight. Rolling in NBA this year. I think 11-6 on the season.
64%'s been good for the NBA. Slow start to the college, I'll admit that. 64%
in NBA on the season. And Dwayne Bryant absolutely dominating college basketball as a 5-star up. Guys, I like the under in the Minnesota-Edmonton game tonight. There's my free pick. Carm agrees. We spoke about that at the beginning. Thanks so much for joining us, boys. Everyone, make sure to follow these guys on Twitter. Marco, give out your Twitter handle.
Carmine Bianco WT.
And it's Marco in Vegas. Very simple.
I'm at Prez WagerTalk.
That's just so wrong.
How can you? Is that your fourth one on this show?
He had one before we started. Remember, he inhaled one
I know.
while we were talking.
You're supposed to be losing weight, Carm, and getting healthy.
These are low fat.
Yeah.
Low fat cannolis.
There is no such thing as low.
Let me guess.
The Italians don't do anything low fat, okay?
Ain't that the truth, Marco? Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you on Monday with Teddy Covers. Have the best luck this week. Let the ball bounce in your direction. That's so Mike Sexton of me. Is that right, Mike Sexton? He's like, let all your cards be live and your blowjobs be great. What does he say?
Right that you finished talking about, balls, because you've been so infatuated with Cowboy balls this whole show. So go ahead and, close it out with talking about the balls bouncing the right way.
Well, listen, Cowboys balls do not bounce. They're way too tightly held against their groin area.
That's just so wrong that you're noticing that. I'm looking at the cowgirls, okay? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the nice-looking cowgirls in, sundresses.
What do you mean sundresses? They're walking around all camel-toed up.
Oh, God. This guy.
You literally know how far their vulva hangs. What is up with... We should end the show right now.
We should end the show there, Prez.
It's literally going to take me an inordinate amount of alcohol to forget this last 5 minutes of this conversation.
I love you both.
I'm going to give it a shot.
Thanks for watching, listeners. Namaste, and we'll see you next week.
Good luck, boys.
Yeehaw!